everyone. And in this session here, we'll just be dealing with some of the aspect of our urban ag production, small scale and beginning farmers. I will start with some of the need assessment results that we have for the last couple of years, and then Sharona will continue with some of the added value and marketing aspect of what we are dealing with. As I mentioned yesterday, this program started, let's say, about 3.5 years now, and we are trying to do what we are doing all the time in extension, and even like all of other organizations that we are dealing with the public, is that we go out and ask what would be needed, and from there we build the program based on this need. And it is not like anything different than any other organization. Let's put it like something like the World Health Organization, for example. Like a couple of years ago, they put these, sustainable development goals. They went out and they asked people all around the world, what do you want in terms of like this, development goals? And they were focusing on, fighting poverty and making sure that food is ready for people, urbanization and their impact, and so on. And they ended up with this, strategies that they would like to apply and would like many of our organizations to adopt to feed the 10 billion by 2050. And it is quite, surprising, not surprising really for me, is that there is a lot of commonality here between what they approached or what they found and what we found too. So they want, or they adopted this 2030 agenda, which have about 17 goals, which is like here, on like this, circle here, 17 different goals, and they put, 169 targets. Some of them actually very matching of what we found when we asked people about what they need. And they have about 230 like measurable indicators. This is indicators that's when they are measuring them, they will give them feedback that will help evaluate and finding out what to do next. So this is, one of these approaches. And they ended up, as I said, with these 17 goals. I just put them in here just for the fun of reading them, and this presentation will be available for you. But they are touching on much of what we are dealing with in terms of our program, in terms of our like extension systems, the university, our food production system, and all of that. And like they put it together like in very nice, very brief, very short, goals here. Better production, that's what we all behind, for like better nutrition, better environment, and better life and health. So for us, when establishing, our program, we try to, have similar approach here. We were trying to figure out what would be needed. And we published, our first year of this need assessment, and this QR code here will get you hopefully directly to this publication and to see what I'm like presenting here. So what I'll present is some of these results that we have from our first year, and also some of our results from our current year. It's the current year, like 23, 24, they are still like in the crunching data, stage, but we did some of this data crunching, and we have some for you today. So in terms of like, when we asked our clientele about who you are, who is farming, and as you can see, like in our first year, 21, 2022, it was like a little close to the representation of our state, but they are a little bit of overrepresentation of the underserved population, more of like our native population, our Latinos, our African American. And that was like really good, because many of our programs are trying to focus on engaging this population. And it was even like more revealing in the second year. So we have more population of the underserved population here. And that's the way that we are like, if you just look at, they are different color, but if you compare the different section, you will see like there is an increase in terms of all of these population of like African American, Latinos, and Native American as well. When asked about like gender, go ahead.
I don't know if this is the right time or place to ask, but I'm always surprised that the categories. There's an increasing number of our population who are mixed, and there's no way to denote that in many of these surveys.
It is not. That's why, like, I don't know, it's the lazy way or the easy way to have it. We try to compare them to the last, census of the population of the state. So that's how we can say, oh, there is like more increase in the representation of certain, you know, ethnic groups into our surveys than the population of the state. But I agree with you. There is a lot of like dynamics. Let's put it in our society, and we are trying to catch up on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and sometimes people don't want to choose one or the other
Yes.
because they feel, but I am both.
Yeah.
But there's no way to denote that.
Well, there is some. Like, I don't think we have it there, and we were like putting. Oh, I don't want to identify myself
Well,
as,
it's
as an option.
another way, and it's like, well, it's not that it's another way. It's like two of these ways, or maybe three of these.
I'm an example. I'm like maybe like 12 or 13. I know for fact that my great grandma from Crimea. Imagine that. You will not like connect me to that, but that's a fact. And so like it's like that all of the time, and we are all mixed somehow. The thing is, we are trying to reach not only based on ethnicity, but also based on the populations that would like to reach, which is like the underserved. The people are like historically underserved in our societies here, which is some of big mandate for some of the funding that we have as well. Is that like Merkley like a little bit answer your? I hope so. So again, in terms of like gender, we have, and that's I should tell you that is big different. We have like first year almost like equal in terms of like male and female, like maybe like females are even more and even like more revealing in the second year. That's very different from any other agricultural system that I worked with. I work with like the big farm, and we know like it's mostly like dominated by males, like almost 85%. Here you are like having more than 50% females, which is like something revealing as well here, and we are trying to deal with that. When it comes to like the acreage and experience here, again, majority of our population, or like the surveys that we took in terms of response, about 80%, they are less than 10 years in terms of like their experience. I'm sorry, I mixed the two here. So this is actually the experience, and this is the acreage. And when it comes to like the acreage, let's put it the other way, we have like, again, majority, about 80%, less than 20 acres. Time and dedication and farm revenue. We have like a mix. Some people like they have multiple members of the family. Some of them are working the full time. Some are part time. That's why they're adding up. And again, it's quite mixed here. But when it comes to the revenue, it's no surprise that we are having vast majority under like the 50,000 in terms of the revenue of the farm here. And this is one of the things that we would like to work on. Hopefully, like in a couple of years, in 5 years, when we are asking this question, majority will be like in the million, hopefully. So in terms of like the farm production here, like no surprise that we have like the vegetables and like fruit and livestock cut. They are like on the top, but we have what we call like more of a special, operation like beekeeping, like cut flowers, mushroom hydroponic, and so on. And that's what our farm production here. And in terms of the methods, it's again in ground is mixed here, but they might be having multiple methods of production in the same system. And again, not surprised. And some of the things here we would like to work on in terms of providing more of information and science-based or research-based information about much of them. The farm goal, this is the one that's it didn't surprise me, but came very pleasant when we asked it about what would be the farm goal here. The very first one is to produce healthy food for community, coming before money. And that's, speaking loud about, our community and what we are behind and why we are doing what we are doing. Market interest, again, going all the way of like different varieties. But one of the things that I would like also to work on is to like make the relationship here of the wholesale hospitality industry more, more closer, more connectivity. We have a couple of like our clienteles who are very small. I might share one of this example yesterday, only like half an acre, and they are sustaining living for two families because of the relationship with other restaurants and like hotel, like in surrounding area, and how that played into their bottom line and their benefit as well. This is the identified barrier here, and it is not much surprise in majority of them coming like from drought and water to like the product distribution, access to land and storage, and all of this coming as identified barrier. And this is part of the working relationship we are trying to build at the new Center for Urban Smart Agriculture with policymaker, with other institution, and with community to start pushing for solution for these problems. Again, like in terms of like topics of interest, that's the one that's big challenges for us. This is the 2021 or the first year here, and the list as you see is quite extensive, and none of them actually going less than 20, or like only like maybe one of them going under 20%, which means like about 1/5 of the population are interested in this topic. Some of them like very high on the rank here, but it's going from like all aspects of the food production system here. Similar, in the second year, we have like some of this aspect might increase, a couple of percentage or more, but still the diversity of topics here is quite big and quite huge. And we are, like what we are doing in any extension program, we are trying to focus maybe like on the top 3, and then all of a sudden, it's a top 10. And we are trying to, juggle as much of this as possible. The thing about all of these topics is the available information based on science. Again, the available information based on science is not that much in our environment. So that's why we would like to work as much on research and science-based activities to meet the needs for information and for like some kind of results for much of these topics here. And with that comes mostly like the educational activities that we would like to work in. And again, for like educational opportunities, like for the couple of years that we have, this is the first year and this is the second year, the combination of like in-person and online, it's like something that is very, very common here and like needed for most of our clientele. And even like some are asking for some of these activities to be during the weekend, and that's what we are trying to do sometimes as well. Some of these, question we asked it in the second year about like production methods, our plan to use, and we put, some of the other methods that we might have. So artificial light, hydroponic, high tunnels, like greenhouses, and all of that, they are in the mix here, and we can see like some increase, compared to the in-ground production activities here from the first year. Practice that's used currently or planned to be used, you can tell like from the result here there is aspiration for organic. Some they are saying they are practicing organic although they are not certified yet. Some are in transition, some already like certified, and the certified one here is like coming close like about 12%, and the one that's in transition another 12. So almost quarter of our surveyor here are getting or taking this organic production very seriously, and they are either they having their certificate or their way to get the certificate as well. The mean contribution of each guide here, again, this is one of the things that's I like so much because it's quite diverse. They are not relying on one good or one produce or one aspect of production here. It's going all the way. Like we have plant produce, we have like livestock, we have like bees, we have even fish. I didn't know that. I just lately introduced to some folks who are like dealing with that as well. So this is, the concentration of much of our surveys here. You can tell that there is no surprise. They are like a lot of them are in Maricopa County. Actually, when we started this survey the first year, it was mandated to be in Maricopa County, but we opened it to everybody else, and we received, responses from almost every county in the state, except maybe one or two. But it tells you like this distribution is quite, similar to the distribution of the other map I showed to you about the corridor, the sun corridor, like, the Tucson, Phoenix, Flagstaff, and the area around, where you have like most of these urban ags areas that's available and also in production as well. So, with all, go ahead.
I was just wondering by the map or by your knowledge of the respondents, was there involvement with different tribes?
Oh yes, oh yes, yes, yes. We already like have at least two of our grants. Yeah, yeah, two of our grants involved at least, I would say, conservatively three, maybe more tribes across the state. Yeah. So based on all of that, what we are trying to do, as I said, is that we are already like almost past the stage of in terms of like building infrastructure for all of that here. So in terms of like technical and educational activities and expertise, they are here with Scarborough Extension and like other institutions, as well as colleagues from other agencies like the USDA. And we also like trying to build the curriculum surrounding all of that. The one thing that we would like to push, and like you heard about that from the FSA yesterday, and you will hear about that from the NRCS today, is being aware of all of these programs from the FSA and NRCS. I know it's like historically we don't want the big brother, right? But there is, since 2018, there is a very big push for the urban ag, small scale and beginner farmer, and it is written for the first time in 2018 Farm Bill. And there is a lot of these programs. And let's put it this way, if we will not utilize these programs and this funding coming into this Farm Bill for this cycle, if it will go back to Congress and say, oh, we offer this 500 million, they took only 200. So that will be offering this cycle. So even applying for that, being like involved in getting these resources is quite valuable and will make our life a little bit easier here. And at the end of the day, that's your share fare, of tax money that you might be putting back into society and back into operation. That I'm pretty sure, based on our humble calculation, most of this money, when you are taking it, for every dollar, you are putting back maybe $4 or $5 into society. So you are actually paying back more what you can get. So with that, we are establishing also service incubator to help with this aspect, to introduce you to this program, to have some help when it comes to maybe like business planning or how to apply for that, connecting you to the USD staff and so on. So again, like I want to like emphasis on that, but you need to understand these available resources, and you need to utilize them because it's here for you as well. And like we just finished, our first cycle of application for the mini grants that we are providing. So right now, how many? 8. We decided on 8 mini grants for this cycle because we started a little bit late, and we have about 8 of them, and each would have about 5,000. It would help with, writing the business plan, making yourself eligible for like FSA and NRCS activities, going to any other aspect that would make your operation, flourish and successful. And we will be opening the next cycle quite soon, so stay tuned for that as well.
How do you find out about those? You just keep checking the website, or is there
We are sending our newsletter with all of this information. If you are not like on the newsletter, make sure that you have your email address to Sharona or Caroline. Yeah, we are sending them all of the time. Go ahead.
Are you thinking about expanding it beyond like Maricopa County? Because I think that was part of the
That's one of our actually problem. Let's put it this way. But much of this money came from like the FSA, and the FSA are recognizing only with this cycle actually the 17 metropolitan area with Phoenix included, and they actually expanded it to Maricopa County. So our next cycle it would go beyond that. So we are planning to apply for the next cycle coming on, and it would be open for like the whole state. Yeah. And with that, and to just, as I mentioned yesterday, we are building our new center for urban smart agriculture to be more of like a whole system a center with the university support and cooperative extension support. And again, it will identify most of these like sustainable a problem or challenges that we have from like the societal, the economic, and the environmental aspect here. We are trying to advocate mostly like science-based solution for much of these challenges here, and we try to engage. We already like engage with other institutions and other regional center and also nationwide. We would like to link all the time agriculture to health and wellness. This is one of the things that will be very big in terms of added value to any product that we have. Most of the time, oh, it's just food. The aspect of food is even different now. The culinary medicine, courses, they are teaching now how to cook food to make sure it has enough nutrition to, mitigate some diseases. And they have a chef, just for this aspect with a PhD degree. So it is all like, it's a new aspect. And I know like we are not pushing it as much, but all the food we are producing are superfood. And that's the thing that we need to, push all the time, because that would be a huge thing when it comes to the added value, as Sharona will discuss later on. So if you would like to know a little bit more about this center, I have this QR code here. If you can scan it, I hopefully you will have it, just a couple of pages about the structure, what we want to do, just, not very lengthy. But again, we are getting to get this steering committee and advisory committee, and I would like to hear from you if you would like to nominate yourself for one of these committees, or you would like to nominate somebody else, so we can have them up and running soon. And with that, I'd like to thank all of you.